All right, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Minetest gameplay of sorts. Yeah. And at the time of this recording, it's 86.4 degrees in Chicagoland. Yes, it is. Oh, it's been absolutely gorgeous out. Little rain, but yeah. So, this is going to be, well, hopefully a nice lag again. I've just started. This is going to be a not a very long video because I spent about 4 hours just updating stuff. Oh, we got to walk past this wolf. Whew. It didn't see me. Good. So we will see the updates I did to this area. And the whole thing about this area is more or less to tell a story. See, I rebooted everything and I didn't walk through it, so everything is loading. So, like I said, the whole thing is to convey a story of what exactly that you're trying to the picture you're trying to paint, the story you're trying to tell. And this whole area here is just, it's a nature center that has a bunch of different functions. Obviously the restaurant here and everything else. So on here, I have updated, I took out the jungle tree. I think I went a little overboard there. That's, it's kind of bad. The whales keep beaching themselves. No matter how many times I put them in the water, they just beach themselves. So this whole area, tree-wise and everything, it just fits. I changed the decking and added more decking across the top, as you'll see in a minute. So now, originally when I built this building, this deck went all the way around the building. And guess what? It's back to that. But, so this is a meeting place that people can come out, meet, eat lunch, and overlook all the nature. And originally this was, this whole area, when I first started building the world, this whole area was land. And I was playing around with dynamite and just dynamited the heck out of this. And I had changed so much stuff. I was playing because I never meant to build this area. And I did so much damage to this area that the game, if you remove too many blocks, it'll cause the game to regenerate, or that area to, I can't think of the word. It'll redo something in the map, and it did. And there was this huge mountain of rock. So that yeah. Oh, well, this is done. So I ended up whittling the rock away and everything else, and then said, hey, I'll build an underwater house and I'll build all this stuff. So that's how this came about. But I always use the story that this was a quarry, because it actually at one point it was. And the water just filled in from the sea. So we have a balcony that goes all the way across. And there was also another thing. This is a residence over here. It could be the owner of the entire complex, which that makes a lot of sense, because originally this building here was a home. It was a mansion in the mountain, and I decided against it. So this is pretty much done. I have some other stuff I need to fill out here, put shelves and tables and stuff. And I was toying with a fireplace and some books here, which is why the wall is blank. But it's meant for people to come up and just to get a perfect view of nature. whether you're studying it, whether you're, just coming out for the views, and sit and relax. So I think it works. There's a whale over there. I dredged it out. There's enough room for them, but they keep wanting to come up on and sunbathe, kind of like turtles. So, just put some tables here and stuff, and we're going to go visit the greenhouse. So I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I'm going to keep it like this. I changed all the railings to make it look cooler. And now, and I added a bunch load of trees, because if you're at the main nature center, it's hard to see this building. If you're at this building, you can see the nature, but you can't see the house. Everything's kind of purposely hidden from each other. So we come here. I like this tree better, but like I said, I made a mistake putting it in. It just keeps way too big for this. But they didn't want to cut it down. So there. All right, we come up here. See how everything, no matter where you go, everything is obscured by forest. So that's by design. So we come up here, and I finished the greenhouse. And I was going to do it on camera, but like I said, that would have been a 4-hour video. So we have farm, we have different crops out here that you would find at a greenhouse. We have the greenhouse. And then I did a lot of stuff. We're going to go look at that. I smoothed out this entire area. Any place that didn't make sense, it got updated. So like here, added more trees, it made this house more hidden. I put in sliding windows, more palm trees over here. I really do like the trees. Just made the hills more realistic, because you can't have cliffs everywhere. And there's a camel over there. How nice. Because this whole area was changed. But the biggest thing came from back here. All this got filled in and leveled out, because it did not look realistic like that horse looks realistic, or that one. But it's so back here, you don't need water galleys in between everything. So I beautified this. All the trees back here got removed and replaced with, what is that? Pine and I don't know what I put in there. Oh, Douglas fir. Duh. And I started playing around with some of the home decor. I think those are home decor. These branches. I have to see and point at it. It is from Bushes. I can't remember where I got that from. But they make a real nice, they make a real nice bush set. So nothing back here except for more animals. They're not eating. I got to figure that out. I know the cows eat the grass, like I said last time. So I will look into that. Now the roadway comes back here. We come back here. We put some vehicles. No. And what I ended up doing was, this was only 3 high when the roof started. I added one more layer of roof, or one more layer, so it's 4 high. It's in between because it really should be 3.5. This is, you put these bushes together with the shrubbery from home decor, and they create a real nice. And there's young trees. They make real nice bushes and young trees. So there. That's how that works. We come inside here. I turned off the pumps, and that was causing the lag. So inside the greenhouse, we have items for the greenhouse. And we have water. This is this is kind of cool, but it's going to be a little messy. I put irrigation up for everything. So everything in here has a working irrigation system. And I showed this in the last video. These are from Pipeworks. This is a valve, comes out, and then you have a water spigot. So let's watch the destruction. And then I'll show it. So it's off. We turn it on. Oh boy, here it goes. We're going to water the plants. And I did this in the car wash. Yeah, you want to talk about, oh, there we go. All three are going. Nice. Okay. Huh. The water's got to run out. It's a little goofy and unrealistic because you'd never flood your plants to this extent. But come on. Imagine if you could just like, you could wash your entire house or something just by flooding it, and then, everything is waterproof. And now we watered. We watered. Now, if you look at a real greenhouse, they're not going to have spigots like this. They're going to have like shower heads or spray nozzles. And a good example of that is if you go to a local supermarket and you go to their produce section, how they keep the produce cool and wet is they'll have misters that will spray water onto the food, onto the produce. And that's how that works. That's why you pick up a head of lettuce and it's all wet. But it's the same principle. And every greenhouse I've ever been in has something similar. So we have a little sink over here for utility. We have a water well for water. And obviously in a greenhouse, you're going to find plants. So there's loads of plants and bushes and trees. And here's tomato plants. Everything else that you're going to find in there. We have storage. We have a place for the water can for the farming crops. Here's another little well. And then we come back here, and this is where the customers will check out. And we do, you got to have realism. I know this is a fake world, but got to have a place for employees to do their business. So I'm very happy with the way this turned out. It looks really cool. You might not like it, but then again, you could build yours to whatever you like. There. So we come back over here, and I finally found some gates that match that I liked. Because it didn't look right having no fence around this area. So we have tomatoes, we have grapes, watermelons, we have green beans, and how that works with the watering can, I can't remember. These are from the crops mod. You do have to water these, and same thing with the corn. You have to water. You can't see the... Every 4 blocks, I hid water 1 layer down. And these will you see how you see that those little, I don't know if it can pick it up, but there's a little squiggly lines right there. And that means that the crops need water. And I believe there's a hydrometer that you have to, you can check to see if your stuff is dry. So there. So we have corn, we have melons, which is very cool, tomatoes, strawberries. These are strawberries from the Farming Plus mod. I mix so many mods together, it isn't funny. I believe these also need to be watered. Yeah, these aren't it. There's one strawberry mod that, or one of the strawberry crops that I had to use. What is it? Oh, it's a young tomato plant. Cool. So we have everything back here. Now back here, this is where it goes. This is the area of the private residence. The waterfall house right there. And then what we have is we have the auto shop. And it's not actually the auto shop for cars per se, but this whole area here was a farm. Now, in our area here out in Chicagoland, we have, there was some pretty big farm names like McCormick and Weesbrook and everything else. And what they ended up doing, Donata, what they ended up doing is as the generations got older, they would sell off parts of the farmland because for big, we're talking millions of dollars, and they would put different, like DuPage County Forest Preserve and Donata Farms and the equestrian centers, stuff like that. They would do that. Weesbrook was another big farm name back in the 60s, 70s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And now these are all nature preserves. Or some of them turned into housing developments and stuff like that. But that being said, most of the land to this day is converted into forest preserve. Or, you know what I mean? It's set aside. It can never be built on. It's not particularly owned by the state, but it's got a trust set up and it's self-sufficient. So this whole area, like I said, it's just to create, to tell a story, to create how I envision, how I would want this to happen. Oh, and like I said, this is a working farm. There is one over in Wheaton and Donata, and occasionally, a lot of the times by Herrick Lake. If you see some of the other videos where I did that water sounds video and stuff like that, those are taken from those two forest preserves that are near Donata, Hidden Lakes and Herrick Lake. Donata is right in the center of it. And they actually have a barn and machinery and not a lot of fields, but it's a working farm to show people how it actually is to farm. So they, and then I believe anything that's grown in the farm, they sell at a farm stand. So it like supports itself. So it's kind of cool. And I always loved that idea. So that's what you got here. This is how I envision the story that I want to tell. And you don't have to like it, but this whole game is set up for whether you build Minetest or Minecraft or, whatever voxel engine game, the whole idea is to tell your own story. I mean, look at the Hermitcraft servers and the, that all the other servers that they make it like a theme. So that's cool. And now we're lagging out big time again. Ooh, we've dropped to 20 FPS. I have so much stuff going on in this area. It's not even funny. So, like I said, this is just this is going to be a very quick video. And usually when I say that, the video goes for like 51 minutes. And I'm going to start getting better at putting time codes in, especially when doing like builds and stuff like that, because I could care less if people flip around and, they advance. That's what they're all for. And if you can find something interesting on it, well, that's the idea. So I'm not going to do any more to this building because anytime I do that, it kind of, now it's getting too dark. It kind of, right now it's at the point where if I put any more detail in, it's going to make it look, like, why did he do that? I don't know why he did that. It'll take away from, like, obviously it needs a bigger kitchen. You can't run a full-fledged restaurant out of here, but it's not meant to. This is a place where people will congregate and meet. I wanted to put like hotel rooms in and make it into a this is gonna end up being an office. But then this defeats the whole purpose. I might take down, I don't want to take down the walls because there's pictures on them. But what I should have done is created like counters all the way around. You could have the office space in here, because how would you like to be an employee here? You're sitting in a room and you're outside one of the most beautiful areas in the map. It's kind of stupid now, isn't it? So what I might do is just put some bathrooms in here and then make the walls bigger and go that route. So let's go under here. We have the underwater residence. This I have to figure out what I'm going to do with this. I like this little cave that I put in here because I extended everything out. The problem is there's only one way to get into that house. And that's it. And that one way is through a secret passageway and tunnel from the nature center. And I looked for those plants because I wanted those trees. The problem is they grow where I don't want them. And I can't figure out how to, no, I'm going to have to get rid of that. I can't figure out how to get, might as well eat them. There we go. Even though I'm in creative and not survival. So another plant that keeps coming in is the sunflowers. There's an area where once a sunflower goes, you come back and there's like 40 of them. And I kind of don't like that. So I'm just going to do some general, anything, update some stuff, but I'm done with this area. The other thing I did is what I wanted to do. I changed, so I got bees inside. I changed this from a bath into a theater. Nice. Because I wanted to keep this. I spent kind of a long time on it. This is the Art Deco mod. And you could picture some chairs here and then a big movie screen so you could show, you could show videos and such. Very cool. So I'm really the platform here so people can look out and under the water. That is cool. It's all tied in. And it all fits. And this is another area where, if you go and make more additions and stuff like that. I did close that train tunnel because that train tunnel ended up going to, there was an open section. And the problem with that is that if you're hiking or doing anything back here, plus it didn't look that good. If you were, so the train came out over here, and as you went through, I just ran over a turtle. It was over here that the train tunnel showed. And it just didn't fit. So, and usually, so what I do is I kind of make this area so you can kind of walk over here. And it goes back to the roadway. Very nice. I was thinking about taking all these trees out. I'm just not happy with the default trees. These are all apple trees and default trees. But for me to sit there and remove every single one of them, would be kind of ludicrous because I like the pine trees and the idea of a forest. So there you have it. I just have some other ideas. I want to beautify this, make it more inviting when you come up to this house. I'm still toying with the idea. I did replicate the Space Invader house and move it to the Forest Preserve building on the other side of the map. And I could use this area for something else. Put another house in. See, these things just spawn everywhere, and you can't get rid of them. They won't break. Somebody said you could do it with an axe once. Let's see if I can cut this down with an axe. Oh, you can. How nice. I forgot about that. See, that, it would help if I this is another area where these things just spawn and they take up the whole area. I'm not sure what I want to put in here. It's going to be a house, but it's not, because it's got to match the style of this house. I don't want all forest over here. So as I'm running through the map with a axe. All right, so there you have it. We have all these houses renovated. They're all updated. We got the nature center done and updated. We have the Cliffside House over here. This has slowly become one of my favorite properties. Cool. And I did nothing to this because this is at the point where let's bounce on the bouncy couch. This is another property. It's at the point where the more and more that you do to it, the more chance that you have you go too far and you over detail something. And that's one of my biggest fears, is that I'd wreck it that way. So this is done. I have to force myself to not keep fiddling with it. And imagine owning something like this in real life. I mean, seriously, this would be, oh, I forgot to take a screenshot. This would be so cool. So what did I want? Oh, because I finished this area over here. Duh. So I am extremely pleased in how this turned out. I always forget to take a screenshot. Wait for that to go away. Got that turned on. Boom. It is done. All right. So I want to thank you very much for watching. And yeah. Those whales. Go swim. They like beach themselves. And I don't want to play with it anymore. I think this is enough detail on there. Cool. I do have to figure out another way of getting out of here. And there's the tunnel in the back, which will put it right about here. So I was thinking about just doing an emergency escape and then putting a trap door here. I think that would be suffice. That would be sufficient. And I gotta beautify that. Look at, oh my. You don't see that every day. What are you guys doing over here? See, I don't understand how some of these mods, look at it, there's a bush in the middle. They're all over the place. There's a bush in the middle of nowhere. Ooh, lava. Look at that. Nice. So that's from the pets mod. However, the pets mod, you can go into the conf file, the configuration file. As I dredge this out just a little bit, you can go into the configure. I still can't get over how many there are over here. Hi, Flipper. I'm gonna call you. Geez, they're all. It's like that Asian carp. It'll fly out and jump in your boat. I think there's a problem here with spawning. You think? They're. This. I think I'll just end the video here. Yeah. That is cool though. There's one little straggler. What are you doing? Oh my, they're all over the place. What is back here? Oh, I know exactly where I am. Yeah, I think there's a problem with spawning there. If they would just make their way to everywhere else. They used to be over here too. But who knows? So I am happy with this. I'm gonna leave it alone. Get back to some other serious building and go from there. So thank you very much for watching. And yeah. Until next episode, I will leave you with these gorgeous views. And goodbye.